You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies.
This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Arrow After Show.
We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show.
It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Arrow After Show.
Yes, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your host, Alikona Bradford, here to give you another after show for Arrow, and joining me again is my male counterpart.
Good evening. Welcome to the Arrow. I was trying to do a Ron Burgundy thing.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Good evening, Arrow fans. I'm Michael Durjan. You can call me Mowgli.
And if you notice, we're still missing Kelly, but have no fear. Do not fret, Kelly fans, because she will return. But until then, we're going to break down episode number 5, League of Assassins.
Very nice. And for those of you that are wondering, I do have a mustache today. I am celebrating, as we are celebrating a new episode for the month of November. I'm also celebrating in Movember. It's a month where we honor men's cancer through wearing a mustache. I hope everybody gets on board. Thank you.
Ooh, I should grow my stash out,
That'd be
too.
awesome,
I mean,
yeah.
I love men,
Please
so
don't.
why not? All right. So, going into the show for tonight, Arrow, we start with a flashback. And the interesting point is that this flashback was not Oliver's flashback.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, for once we got to see somebody else's. It was a dream, but it was still a flashback that we got to see a sneak peek into what was going on with Sarah.
Every time you say Flash anything now, I'm getting really excited.
Are you?
Yeah, it just makes me just really excited because I think you're going to talk about the Flash, so I'm getting excited.
We will. We'll talk about him later on and how much we don't want him with Felicity. But anyways, it's a whole other topic that you and I will probably debate about because I know you're anti my opinion.
No, I wouldn't.
So,
Yeah.
moving right along. Okay, so we go into flashback. We get to see that we get to okay, awkward. When we get to see the love-ish scene between her and Oliver, the whole thing made me uncomfortable because obviously he's supposed to be with Laurel. He's cheating on her.
Of course. Has
no kind of remorse for his actions at the time. And then we get to see her sucked out the boat.
Right.
Like, for real sucked out. We saw little bits and pieces, but we saw the full scene tonight.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I felt good. I mean, honestly, it was kind of, it was nice to see that Oliver's flashback was actually similar to what Sarah's flashback was.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times the flashbacks will differ, like, between the two, but there's a lot of continuity between both of their flashbacks.
Right.
Which I really enjoyed, other than the fact that it was a different girl in season 1. I guess
Right. We
but
did.
I enjoyed watching how the boat broke. It reminded me of Titanic,
Yeah.
watching her out there. You know, it was a lot of good, there's a lot of, like, elements that really brought me into that scene.
Right.
And it really was really nice to have that answer to be solved, that how
what
Sarah
happened,
survived.
how she survived.
Exactly.
But to see her, okay, first of all, I thought the whole scene of her on the door or whatever broken piece of what it was just awkward. She's in her underwear, poor thing. And you see the yellow canary, which is obviously, you know, an omen.
The whole scene was very James Cameron, if you will.
Yes. yes. And then I caught the fact that, you know, she was obviously on this boat. What was written on it? I took a note, Amazo. And maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I noticed that was the title on the boat. And of course, we see her captured by did you catch it right away? The same people who caught Oliver in the flashback of last episode were the people that caught her. So right away, I'm like,
Right, yeah.
Okay. And then here comes this, forgive me, but here comes this white dude that comes along to rescue her. And
No
honestly,
worries.
I thought he was grabbing her so he could come rape her in his room.
Oh my
or something.
God! Are you throwing R-bombs already?
No, I'm just, well, I mean, it's a little creepy. Come on now.
Oh,
He
no.
locked the door after he brought her in the room. I'm thinking she thought the same thing.
I did not get that out of that scene. I saw him as a decent guy that was saving her from a bad fate. The one thing I didn't like is that he said that you guys work for me, and those guys are definitely Ra's al Ghul's guys. I would assume somehow they're related to the bigger plan.
Right.
And what everybody knows is Ra's al Ghul works for nobody.
Right.
They literally work for no one.
See, what I didn't like about this guy is the fact that he had said something along the lines that I'm trying to save the human race. And he's a
Right.
doctor, so I'm already thinking he's Dr. Demento and doing something really crazy and weird.
That would be crazy, yeah.
Especially he needs his prisoners. So what are you doing? Experimenting on people to try a new breed or race of person?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was really popular in World War II as well, like the whole idea of experimentation on human beings.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Very good point.
Yeah. For me, I noticed from the last episode, some people were like, oh, here's what the comic book has. But, in the show, it's a lot different than the comic book. There's a lot of things that change up and switch around. So I'm always thinking about new and innovative ways to look at what's happening in that scene. So based on what I saw, I was like, no way. I was like, what if when Oliver was on this boat, they put something in him that made him as strong as he is?
Nah, no offense.
I know, he's not meta. He's not meta. I know.
No, I don't think that happened. But what it did allude me to think about is he was probably proposed the same opportunity that she was, which is to train with the League of Assassins. I'm assuming he either A, turned them down, or B, maybe he learned a little bit, and that's where he got his training from. Because we still don't know who exactly trained him. Is Shadow out of the picture? Will he go back to the island?
Well, what it leads me to think is that she actually wasn't trained by those. I don't think those people are part of that league. I think that they're just people that are somehow related to that league. Okay. But I don't believe that's where she met up with the League of Assassins, because I think Oliver would probably known she was part of the League of Assassins if that's how it went down. So whoever those guys are on that boat, they're separate from the League of Assassins. But which alludes me to the point that in the last episode at the end, you saw that needle going into that guy's arm, and he said, do you want to be with us, brother, or you want to be strong like us, brother? We need you to be strong.
How did I miss that?
At the very end, that's what I'm so sorry, what Brother Blood said. And he put that needle into that guy's arm.
Oh, okay, other episode. I thought you meant this episode. Okay,
so in theory, I'm thinking, what if somehow this is all connected, and maybe they created a serum that can only work on certain people? So like the serum is what's going to make them strong, and if it doesn't change you to be stronger, it kills you.
That's possible.
Or something.
But if you notice also too, though, Sarah was already kicking butt. She may have not been fully trained, but right off the bat, and maybe she was doing it for Oliver's own good, because he was like, well, hello. And she's like, whack, and she just kicks him real good. And I think part of it was to shut him up so he doesn't let whomever behind her know that they are connected and they know each other. And the other part of it, I don't know. But she's already got that temperament of she's kicking people. She would have never done that in the beginning scene that we saw her in.
Right.
She was too timid and weak and scared.
Yeah, no, definitely. A lot's happened to Sarah. I mean, this whole episode is really about Sarah.
It was.
It was not about the Arrow.
But I'm so glad. It was a nice change.
It was awesome.
It answered a lot of questions.
Yeah, it really did. Honestly, just starting with everything that's going on with Sarah and then switching over to see what's happening with Laurel, everything was just like, it was just a really good episode about the Lance family, I was really excited about it.
Speaking of the Lance family, I'm going to skip Moira for right now and go right into Detective Lance.
Right.
He's put in danger now, obviously, because the League of Assassins are back and they want Sarah. And there's Felicity trying to tell him, you're in danger. First of all, we all know I love her, but she's trying to tell him that he's in danger, and clearly he's not taking this chick seriously.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like, go away, little blonde girl. I'm fine. I'm a cop. Cool, you're a cop, but you're a little bit too cocky, because it doesn't matter who you are. There's cops that get shot and killed every single day when they're on duty, so don't ever think that you're untouchable. And if someone's giving you a warning, dude, take it. And
the best part was that he said that classic line a cop says, my life is in danger every day. So you're going to have to tell me a little bit more if you want me to be afraid. I was like, come on, dude. Are you serious? You're not even a detective anymore. You're a street cop. Like, you're writing tickets. Like, come on. Don't talk like that.
Right. Well, I mean, he's been there, though. He's been there. He's walked the walk in the past. He survived it, obviously.
Let me be honest with you. I don't like cops. Sorry to say that. Yeah,
You can tweet him at and whatever.
At M. Mowgli.
Yes.
Mowgli.
Just look up his track history.
Yeah, please do. No, trust me. There's plenty of tickets there for you to take a look at. I was arrested when I was 15 for molestation of a vending machine. It sucked.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say something. I was going to be like, you know what? I'm going to scoot my chair over a little bit over here.
I tried to get a free car wash, and I got arrested and went to jail. Cool. Awesome. God.
Oh.
I'm a delinquent.
Did you have a mustache back then?
No, but it was really hard to go into any normal convenience store afterwards, because all the managers would think I was trying to rob the vending machines or something. It was terrible. It's like, oh, you're going to molest our vending machines. It's like, what? I'm done. Yeah, it sucked. I'm over it.
See, now you just segued me back to Moira and talking about being in jail and in prison. Maybe you could keep her company.
Yeah, and what did you think about Laurel, having to be added to the defense?
Did not appreciate that at all. And clearly...
And it came right at the beginning of the show.
Yes, clearly Oliver's... come on, betrayal. I don't care if it's your job and it's slim pickings because you're brand new and you just go where people are directing you. Too close of a relationship. Even somebody else in the show, I don't remember who had said it, but it's too close to home. She does not belong, whether she is for or against.
Yeah.
She knows that family way too much and should not be on that case.
Yeah, but I did like the idea that she's on the case now, because we always know when you have someone that's as close to Oliver as she is, that the outcome could be very positive for his mother.
Right. Well, she's trying. Oliver obviously didn't believe it, because he's like, come on, dude, life. And she's like, you're lucky. It could be death. I at least got her to be alive.
Yeah, as a person that served some time, myself, I'll say life with the chance of parole is great. Because life with the chance of parole after killing 500 people could be like 10 years and then you're out.
Right.
Which is, she could be pretty old. We don't really know the age of Oliver's mom, but I'm assuming that she's in her 40s. So 50s isn't going to be that bad.
Right.
Like being out of jail at 50, she's still going to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
So that's my personal
But she
opinion.
doesn't even care. She's gotten to a point, at this point in the episode,
she's
so passive and so willing to take whatever it is that's thrown at her because she just feels guilty for all these people's lives that have been taken. She's starting to think that maybe it is my fault. Maybe I deserve this. And at the same time, we know that she's harboring a secret that she just does not want her family to find out, which is the theme of this entire show.
Right, definitely.
Everybody has a secret.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone in the show has a secret.
Huge.
In comics, everyone has a secret at one point or another.
I mean, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Obviously, Oliver's the Arrow. Huge secret, everything that's going on the island.
Yeah.
Same thing for Sarah. Moira. Roy, I'm sure, has his skeletons. Felicity is dead in love with Oliver, which we all know.
But on a positive note, I will say Laurel she looked great. She looked really great. I'm not trying to be.
It's okay. You know what? That's probably, I'm going to say this. That is a very nice balance for all our gentlemen out there because I know Kelly and I always talk about Stephen Amell's abs. So, men, there you go.
Honestly,
to
I'll talk about Stephen Amell's abs. Like, are you kidding with me right now?
Complete less.
He's got great abs.
He does.
I'm telling you what. That's some P90X that's going on around there. Honestly, I go to the gym every day wanting those abs. That's what I do.
There you go. Inspiration right there.
It is. It is very inspirational. But I did eat 2 double cheeseburgers and a medium fry at McDonald's today.
Yeah.
Free. It's a fight every day. It's a fight every day.
Yeah. So what did you think about all the fight scenes that were going on then?
Oh my gosh. I thought it was crazy. I thought the fight scenes were amazing. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Like personally, I did watch the behind the scenes last week with you, and I enjoyed doing that and seeing that because for me, I always take the fight scenes for granted. I really do. In anything.
These are, even watching these and not seeing that behind the scenes video, these scenes are genius. Whoever choreographs them does an amazing job. On top of the fact that the athletic ability of not only the stunt doubles, but the actors themselves have to train so that way it's believable and they are showcased in certain scenes. And we will show a video later on with Katie Lotz in it, but it just goes to show her physical abilities just as a person in general.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I really honestly thought all the fight scenes were great. Oliver coming in through the window of the clock tower, like smashing in, the guys coming into the clock tower and the fight going down and having all the weapons ready to like help her out to fight off the Ra's al Ghul minions and stuff. Like the whole idea of that. And then the fight scene when he's like, I brought someone to help me, when Oliver says that.
Yes, I'm like, go team.
Yeah, and I was like, dude.
I love that. I love seeing this duo together, you guys.
I love
They're seriously kick-ass.
Yeah, and then when they said that, and he's like, I brought people to help too. And then 2 of the Ra's al Ghul guys dropped down, and 2 of the people from the League, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is just awesome. Like, this is what you want. The epic showdowns for guys, when we watch this stuff, for my opinion, is that we want to see big battles. One-on-one is cool, but when it's like 5-on-5 and we can have a team to help us, it's always better. You know what I mean?
See, and for us girls, we just want to see a girl in there in the mix kicking butt.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to see some girl being wimpy and weak and constantly being rescued.
Oh, nice.
It's cute here and there, but I want to see a girl rescue a dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, I like that.
Too.
Well, I was really excited when I saw Oliver shoot that. He shot a bow and knocked that thing out of the guy's hand so it wouldn't kill her or whatever, like watching her back kind of thing. But I guess you're right. You don't want someone to help you out. It's like it's girls are changing these days.
Dude, it's 2013.
Used to be princesses. Now we're
kicking butt right next to you.
I have nothing good to say.
Speaking of
now you're
arrows,
powerful.
though, what did you think about the fact that really? I mean, yeah, just a little excited. Okay, so when Oliver shoots the arrow and it's caught, I don't know who the gentleman's name is, but obviously he was the head of this particular mission, and it's like. And the dude caught it, and now it's showcasing what he's up against. Somebody who's clearly very skilled. The whole dark robed thing was really cool because for me, obviously they talked about it later on in the episode, but as soon as Oliver's character said, wait, why are you wearing the same outfit as the Dark Archer, which is Merlin?
Yeah.
And right away I'm going, that is where he trained. Because last season, the girls and I were talking about, maybe we did mention League of Assassins, but we were like, okay, who did he train against? Because clearly he's, in a sense, at that time, he was better than Oliver. Why? Who trained him? Now we have the answer in concrete.
And I did figure that Merlin probably trained in Nana Parva or whatever it's called, like the island where they all train at for the League of Assassins or whatever. But what I will say is that I am going to get some backlash for this. I know it. But I thought it was Ra's al Ghul. I thought, oh, they're just going to introduce him just like that right off the bat.
Yeah, I was like, no way. It's not coming that soon.
I was like, oh.
Way.
And I was really excited. And then when he died, I was like, well, it's definitely not him.
No. Well, here's a good question, though.
Yeah.
The whole thing about the League of Assassins coming after Sarah is the only way out is through death. So
Right.
how did Merlin make it back? And he's living his life, being wealthy and corrupt and everything else. How did he make it back with that? Why was he untouchable?
Well,
No one was after him.
the League always has like its priorities in the way that it wants things to go, and usually the League is always upsetting world order by destroying it and starting over again once it becomes too corrupt and people have become too anarchist. So I guess the Glades, the League probably saw as being exactly that. So that's what implanted in their mind to let Merlin do exactly what he was doing. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the League had some responsibility for Merlin's wife's death if the show
maybe
went that far.
directing him to
Right,
to do all
exactly,
that.
exactly.
I don't know. He seemed like he was pretty greedy and doing it all for himself.
And-
but that's just me.
yeah.
And if that's the case, does Moira know anything about this? Is she affiliated with the League of Assassins? Is that why she was so scared of Merlin?
Personally, I think it was just because of the fact that she had her husband murdered, basically.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, so
Shoot
I wouldn't
me
want my kids to know
down.
that. Oliver knows that already, but she doesn't
Yeah.
know that. But on a plus note, I will say Thea Queen has come a long way from the OC.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm just being real.
Well, even from season 1 to season 2, she
Yeah.
matured a lot because with her brother being gone, taking over the club and all these things, having to be an adult.
Right. I always felt like every time I've seen her in the show, she's always standing out too much. You know what I mean? Like she's always just trying to be the star of the show almost. Like I hate to say it like that because I'm not attacking her. But in this episode, I started to feel, and in the last couple episodes, I'm starting to feel her find her stride and being the little sister who also is a grown woman and not having to be the center of attention to create the attention.
Right.
The way she was handling everything inside of the cell and the way she was talking to her mom and the kind of way she was like impacted by her mom's decision was awesome. Like it was really mature of her. I really wanted to know more about her. I wanted her to talk more. I wanted more of her in general. You know what I mean? Which I haven't wanted in season 1.
Right. Well, yeah, it was a good change because she was very selfish in season 1, but at the same time, you have to think of all the things that she went through. She lost her brother. Now he's back. Just all these crazy things. And the same thing for Laurel. Talk about Laurel, all the things that she's gone through, and she kind of threw a pity party. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was a little annoyed because she made everything about her. You know, instead of like everybody leaves me. What's so bad about me? Tommy died.
Oh, God.
Mom crawled
Seriously.
into a car and she left. Dad crawled into a bottle. Why does everyone run away from me? Girl, please. Do you know how many troubles these people are facing? And it has absolutely nothing to do with you.
We talked about this last week, and there's not almost a single episode Laurel's not getting hit on or someone's not trying to be with her. So for us, I don't think we're going to feel sorry for you, Laurel. I really apologize for that, but I mean...
The only empathy she does get from me is...
What is that?
Okay, 2 sisters. One passes away, and the family is completely torn apart. Obviously, mom and dad get divorced. Dad starts drinking. He's an alcoholic. He's probably so swallowed and consumed by his own sadness and misery that he's kind of probably ignoring Laurel. So Laurel becomes the second best sister, if you will. Like, hi, I'm still alive. Love me. But instead, you're so busy mourning my sister that now I feel like I'm not good enough. And then my boyfriend on top of that was cheating on me with my sister. Am I like everybody doesn't love me?
Yeah.
So
well,
I can understand where that emotion would come from leading up to this scene right now, but it is still at the same time a little bit egocentric.
No, I kind of see where you're coming from. I'll admit. I mean, the whole thing about the dad and being unhappy and all that kind of stuff, it does make sense that she does have that feeling. But Laurel in the show obviously mimics her dad quite a bit. She's almost like, you know, they share so many attributes that are similar to one another just naturally. They both are entered into some sort of legal law enforcement, public defender, or public, office of some sort.
Right.
And they both want to do what's right for people. They both want to seek justice. They both miss their sister. There's so many parallels between them.
Right.
And even the way they feel about one another. I in fact, the only thing that I think with the father, I think like Corporal Lance has that really separated me was the fact that the way that he reacted to seeing his daughter again was a little bit under what I expected at first.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I thought he was just
s-
literally gonna like. I thought he would have fainted for how much of an impact it's made on him. And this also gives Laurel's mom right, by the way, because she said she thought she saw Sarah in season 1 somewhere.
Right.
And I thought she was an idiot and she was like crazy in grief. And I literally gave her no credit at all.
Right.
Yeah, so sorry.
I want to talk about the scene where Lance first sees his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was beautiful. I think that the actor did an amazing job.
Right.
Me personally, because the first reaction is shock. Maybe you don't fall over and faint, but it is shock. And the way he embraced her and held her, and just everything
Yeah,
from
it's a
his
lot.
facial expressions to his voice to the things he said was just done so remarkably. I really enjoyed the scene to the point where I had a little tear,
Yeah, you were. I saw a little
I'm an
tear.
emotional
Yeah, that was
watcher,
good. What did you think about the fact that she had to cut to the back and then she had no shirt on? That backless shirt shot, guys, please.
Oh, going into Oliver's lair. I mean,
Yeah.
as a female, it didn't bother me. Obviously, it's a surgical procedure, if you will. There is no doctor,
Oh,
so
yeah, it
here's
was surgical,
Oliver.
all right.
Oliver's obviously sewing her up. And I mean, she faced Felicity. Still, as a woman, I don't know if I would face another strange woman topless, but I get it. She was injured. Those things don't matter. when
Hey,
you're
I'm
injured.
just happy to know she got the medical attention that was necessary at the time.
sure you
And I would
are.
just like to see things like that happen continuously throughout
I'm
the
sure
show.
you would have liked to have been the one giving her the medical
You
assistance.
kidding me? Of
I'm
course I would.
sure.
Actually, my degree's in micro and molecular biology. If you need any help, please come and find me.
Or just mouth to mouth. I'm sure he's majored in that subject, too.
Laurel, it's me and you. I'm not
But
Sarah. I would never do that to you.
Oh,
I'm
but
better
Sa-
than Oliver.
Oh, but Sarah's the one we were talking about who was injured and
I know, but it's getting too real now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You don't want to cheat
I don't
want
wanna
to
ruin my
right?
chances.
Okay, excuse
Yeah.
me. Sorry. So
I'm just
sorry.
teasing.
So anyways, but I want to go back to just everything between the relationship of Lance and Sarah.
Right.
And them being at the Chinese restaurant, him being introduced to the concept of who she is. First of all, she's speaking Chinese.
That was awesome.
Awesome, but at the same time, I don't know if I would do that right away because obviously Dad's going to be like, so since when does my daughter speak Chinese?
And what did you think about how she talked to Diggle? Did you like that?
No. I mean, yes and no.
We're
but at the
learning a
same
lot
time-
about Sarah.
At the same time, I was like, ooh, yeah, she's a tough girl. But she had said something along the lines about him and his military training. And she
Yeah.
was like, please, the people that train me make you look like a kindergartner.
Yeah.
I was like, oops.
Did you like that, or how did you feel?
It was effective.
Mhm.
That's how I feel because he was obviously very determined to stand in her way. Her priority is her family. Sorry, no disrespect, but I'm going to save my family. And I honestly don't think you can do it. So move to the side.
Man, I was like, you need to watch your mouth talking to Diggle like that. Diggle's been there. He's been through some shit. He
Oh,
saved
yeah,
Oliver.
I'm not discrediting him at all whatsoever, but I think what she's trying to say and what even Felicity was trying to tell Detective Lance is you people have no idea what you're up against.
Yeah.
You really don't.
I feel like that. I feel like, yeah, you really do bring a lot of good light to these situations. I think I'm very quick to judge, and I realize you put a lot of thought into this. I
mean,
respect where you're
thanks.
coming from. Yeah. I'm like, no, she's wrong. No, you're right. That's good.
But I'm still stuck on the bar scene because I do want to talk about the introduction of who she is to her father and him. I don't know. I mean, last season I was really angry at him. I didn't like Detective Lance. I thought he was obnoxious. I'm loving him right now because also, too, what he's trying to tell his daughter, like, we missed you, we love you, come back home. Even after he saw her kill somebody in cold blood, rather than being mortified, which is obviously what she's so fearful of, he was like, no, I'm so proud of you. You are one of the bravest people I've ever met. You are a survivor.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? You are an amazing father.
I agree.
Amen.
Yeah, no, that totally was on. I was on par with that. The only thing that I felt was uncomfortable is that I didn't feel like anything breaks a father's love for a daughter. So the idea that she even thought that in the first place was hard for me to believe. But I guess after the amount of killing she's probably done.
Of course, she's ashamed.
Yeah, she would be.
She talked about slitting someone's throat that was a father and his children found him.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
That's tough. That's really tough.
But,
yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, but I mean, Daddy wants to save his little girl. Are you gonna cry? Oh,
No, that's pretty tough.
it is.
What did you think about the Roy Harper and Felicity thing that was going on?
I refreshed my memory really quick because Roy Harper, we didn't see him very much.
Yeah, well, remember they had that little commercial?
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
let's please talk
I
about
want to
this.
know what's
Okay.
going on. If anybody knows,
Blood
please
Rush.
tweet at me. Yeah.
Who is watching Blood Rush? Because I'll be honest, bad for me. I didn't realize that this was going on. It's an online series with Felicity and Roy Harper. I like the cute little scene that we saw because we saw so much of that. Roy Harper's like, do you always talk that much? Because she's always correcting herself and saying stuff she doesn't mean to say. And one of the things she said, I love Oliver. I mean, I don't love him. God,
I never know what's going on in her
yeah.
head.
But I will say this. She looked very beautiful.
Lady in red.
Yes.
Lady in
very
red.
classy, very sexy, very beautiful.
Yeah,
and we're all getting
sorry.
tweets, all kinds of, all over the place.
Stuff's going on right now.
All right, so I don't know what's being said to you, but at Megas3 is talking about Felicity and saying, no shirtless Oliver this week's episode. Sad sigh. Me and you, I'm feeling you. I know. Maybe next week, huh?
Everybody leaves. What is wrong with me? I can't believe this stuff. And stop with the pills, please.
I was going to say, the difference between her and Detective Lance is he crawled into a bottle, she crawled into some pills. And what are those pills that are you taking? And really, are they going to take away your pain?
Yeah, I was
And I didn't expect that from her because she seems always so straight edge. The last thing I would expect is for her to be blatant, take drugs, because that's what it is, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're prescription or not. It's drugs, all right, people?
And I was happy to see the Windows 8. I was happy to see some
Of course
Windows
you were.
8.
Coming from a gentleman who works for the company, he's secretly going to plug it.
Hey, I'm just letting you guys know, Surface tablets are amazing. They're out there, and they're really nice. It's basically the power of a laptop in the palm of your hand, and it's work and play at the same time. There's more about it I can tell you. Let's just stop. But moving forward, I'll say that I enjoyed seeing the Surface tablet with the magenta keyboard.
Okay, so that officially is going to get us a new sponsor, I think.
Yeah, let's get it done. Come on, guys. Come on, MSFT. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, we also saw Oliver drinking, too. It was a celebratory drink, but he was drinking with Diggle. And one of the things that Diggle called him out on, because Oliver gets called a lot during this season, and even last season, he's a little bit of a hypocrite. But he's talking about, why didn't Sarah tell him all the things that he'd been through? And Diggle calls him out for the same reasons that you never told us what happened on that island. And so at the very end of the show, finally, Oliver opens up, leaves us hanging, but opens up about the fact that he was not on the island that entire 5 years.
Who do you think was the one that told him to save that bottle for a good day?
I don't know.
Had to be somebody from the island because it came out of that box.
I don't know.
Think we got a little Slade coming in there?
Maybe, and I want to talk about him later on because there's a lot of unanswered questions.
I feel the same way.
For me.
I just can hear him saying, save that bottle for a good day. Something like that, however he talks.
Is that how Manu Bennett would say it?
I guess so. Oh, what did you think about, okay, did you know what that mindful of your surroundings thing was all about when they got in that fight at the end?
No, what?
When she was fighting against him, she was like mindful of your surroundings?
I'm not quite sure, and I don't know if that had any...
Ridiculous that she said that. It's a classic. It's the most classic line from Batman Begins.
Oh, excuse me.
And from the comics as well, but mindful of your surroundings. It's like, oh, God. It's just like those lines like attack every one of our hearts as people that watch these movies and watch and read
But
these.
shouldn't you take it as a homage to the comics?
It is.
The writers are trying to intertwine the two worlds.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful phrase, mindful of your surroundings. It's like, literally, it's like the ultimate phrase to always make you be, it's like the ultimate ninja assassin phrase, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it. Like, it can come from anywhere. And it's what, literally in my mind, is the one phrase that kind of cements the idea that it could be real, that these people could stop an arrow behind their head. Because if they're practicing the art right, they're mindful of every bit of their surroundings.
I just got a little wax on, wax
It's
off
so
action
cool.
right now,
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah,
So
and
wise.
Batman Begins, he's on ice, and he's fighting him on ice, and he's about to take him out, and then he just taps the ice, and a hole breaks, and he falls through.
Very clever.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool. I love it. Mindful of your surroundings. It's crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Sorry.
Yeah. And this is not the end of the League of Assassins. She may have killed the 3, but that doesn't mean anything. She sent one back to go home to let them know, you leave my family alone.
Yeah, that's cool that she chose an Arabic name that meant canary.
Yes.
It's very ethnic. I enjoyed
and
that
I'm wondering
again.
what the connection is, though, too. And maybe you could answer that for me as far as the whole Arabic thing, because the people who trained her are obviously Chinese. So where did that come into?
Well, it's a pretty complicated thing. I don't know. I've got no clue. I was just joking around.
Talking about,
that was a Ron Burgundy move. The mustache brought it out of me.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about it. In Arabic, the Arabic people came from China, and coming from China, they learned a lot about... I don't got nothing.
Wait. Pause. Interruption. Thank you so much, Michael. Other Michael.
Yeah.
Not you.
I like
Sorry.
Michael. Yeah.
But yes, we like Michael. So thank you so much for this information, because he says that Anatoly, I'm going to screw this one up. Anatoly. All right. So the guy with it, okay, is the guy who gave Oliver the bottle. At least that's what he's thinking. Okay. So Anatoly is somebody who, that's not a Russian name. That sounds Italian, but the last name is not.
No, it probably is it's probably from being part of the Brotherhood. Oh, that's right. The ship belongs to the Brotherhood, the Russian Brotherhood.
Yes, which we will see more of next episode when we go to Russia with Diggle.
God, I can't wait. I love when shows go on the move like that, China and Russia and stuff like that. It's great. And I was really happy to see that Oliver and the Canary, obviously Sarah, were able to share a cage. You know what I mean? Being on the boat together.
Ba-bum.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. I'll give that one to you.
Yeah, it was good.
So I feel like we've covered a lot of this episode. I have a lot of news and gossip and a really cool video that I want to show. So I think I'm going to take us into that direction
Let's
right
do
now,
it.
actually.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
All right.
So much.
So first and foremost, the CW just announced that there will be a season 3. Thank you very much, of Arrow. So congratulations to them, and of course, congratulations to us because we get to watch another awesome season of this show. Also, too, the People's Choice Awards are coming up, and I was going to call him Oliver Queen. Mr. Stephen Amell actually was nominated for Favorite Sci-Fi TV Actor. So, People's Choice, that means you. So, get online and vote for him. I
That'd
will.
be great, yeah.
All right. So, also coming up in news, some latest Vertigo. We talked about it last season. We knew that he was going to come back, and he will be coming back. It's going to be on episode... It's called State versus Queen, so obviously that's when the trial is going to take place, and it's on November 20th. So that is going down. Let's see what else I have. Episode 6 spoilers. Let's see. Has anybody... Keep Your Enemies Closer is the title of that episode. Oh, you know what? That's the one we were just talking about as far as Diggle going over to Russia to rescue Layla, which is his brother's mourning wife, I guess you would say, that he had a fling with.
Right.
Also, will Katie Cassidy become the Black Canary soon? I am reading that it's going to be a lot sooner than we think. So I'm wondering what's going to happen to Katie Lotz. I don't know if she's just going to disappear into the night and hand her staff over. But obviously, Laurel's going to have to go through a lot of changes mentally and physically. Probably hit rock bottom before she can come up, which I don't know if that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
But one of the things I saw, you know, actually, can we get into some pictures?
Let's do it.
Boop, 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 boop. That's okay, no worries.
I'll try to help break this down.
I'm making sound effects, so it's okay. Well, while that's going on, let's see what else I have in my bag of tricks.
Michael
here.
brought us some more information. He's the leader of the Bradva.
Who's the
The
leader?
Russian guy. Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, let's see. Well, going back to episode number 6, something about... Oh, here we go. Oh, it's the video. Yeah, let's show the video
Is it
first.
coming up?
Is it? I
Any
see it
second
on
now.
there. Are we ready for that? Okay, so this is Miss Katie Lotz. Just an attribute. I want to say attribute.
Oh, she's a
Just
break
a shout
dancer.
out to her, because y'all know I dance. Maybe you don't know, but I dabble in some breaking. So
Get out of here. I
big
break
props.
dance.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
session.
super good, yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yes, but I love seeing a girl dance and
Yeah.
dance like a boy, because this was considered a boy's dance
Oh,
at
yeah.
first. But she's good. I'll shut up so you guys can watch and enjoy.
Yeah, that was a backward spin there.
Zulu spin. Air chair. Sorry, we won't call out the moves.
Yeah, I was just making up names for him.
Oh, do you really break dance?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't. I've never done it professionally. I learned to do it when I was a kid growing up.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
She's obviously a gymnast as well, too.
I have to bring in some video of me compete against this. I didn't get my nickname Mowgli without being able to do a couple aerial moves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got no signal again.
No, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
If you guys are listening to the podcast, be sure to go onto YouTube and watch this video.
Oh yeah, she's doing some really good moves here.
Yes.
Some in and out turns. Looks like
Great freezes.
one-handed freeze move there.
And, of course, some aerial work.
Some aerial work there. Yeah.
But it just
Little-
goes to show, too, also,
like a
while we're
box.
watching, we're just going to talk about the fact that she obviously has great physical ability, tumbling skills. She's very agile. So, of course, all this came into play, I'm sure, with her training for the Canary and taking on this role. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to show this video of
I've
her.
seen her before this. She's done other stuff too.
Oh, has
She's been
she?
in the game for a minute. Yep. She's at LA. She goes to a gym out here actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
There's a parkour gym that is in the area.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
it's
think
in
I've heard of it.
It's in Van Nuys. Yep.
Really?
Mhm.
I'll have to check that out. Not that you guys
Katie
care.
Lord's killing it. That was a
All
demo
right.
reel for her
Yes,
for sure.
yes. Okay, so let's move on because I do have other pictures of stuff that I want to talk about as well too. So we'll see what pops up next. It's a big mystery.
Nice.
Okay, so while we're waiting for the picture to pop up,
Yeah.
let's talk about. I was talking about episode number 6. Okay, so Amanda Waller will send Argus agents to kidnap Diggle. So Diggle's getting kidnapped,
Right.
apparently. Waller is going to inform Diggle that Layla has gone missing after following a lead on Deadshot. So we get to see Deadshot again going head to head. It's Diggle's huge. It's what eats away at him.
Right.
So
Diggle deserves this.
Yeah, so I want to see Deadshot and I want to see him go down.
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally.
All right. So, Marissa, can we get some of the other pictures popping up, please?
I don't think we have
Oh,
them,
we
yeah.
don't have them tonight. Okay, so
Yeah.
no problem. We can always show pictures a little bit later on.
We overloaded the buffers. It's not a big
Oh,
deal.
is that what happened?
Yeah.
All right. Well, no worries. We can show pictures next week. Why don't we just move on to predictions?
I'd love that. There's a lot of stuff we're throwing at our engineer right now.
Yeah, overload. So sorry, guys. Okay, so why don't
Hey,
you...
make me a sandwich.
You know what?
Ron Burgundy said so.
Wow. So what are your predictions then coming up? We know that we're going to be in Russia. We know that Diggle's
Okay.
going to face off with Deadshot.
Yeah.
What else do you think is going to happen?
Well, God, I've taken a lot of time to think about these predictions now. It's really getting to the point in the show where I'm starting to figure things out. I think the Canary is going to leave, obviously. She's going to leave us for a few episodes, and she'll be in and out.
Okay.
I do believe that Merlin is going to come back. Now, I didn't even think Ra's al Ghul was really going to take part. I didn't think the League of Assassins was going to take part in this. That's why I was so ignorant to it last episode. I didn't even think they would take it there. You know what I mean? Because then you border on those you have meta heroes, like people that can be more than an average person, right? So now that they're entering that in, obviously the Flash is in it, the particle accelerator. There's a lot of things you're taking in consideration. I think the Flash is not going to be the Flash when we meet him. I think that when he comes into the episodes, he's just going to be a normal guy. But that's going to be something that's happening or will happen throughout. And I think the continuing storyline with Oliver's mother is going to end up with her probably being innocent and being put under duress through the whole situation.
Like house arrest, or what do you think? She's going to have duress. What?
Yeah, duress, she did it under duress. So basically she was forced to do it.
Gotcha.
So in the end, I think they're going to let her go, which I think will be huge. I think that the girl, what's the girl's name that's in charge of Oliver's company right now?
Oh, Isabel.
Yeah, I think Isabel is going to end up being Oliver's best friend eventually. I think right now she's playing that role of being the person that hates him and wants to watch him. But I think I heard that she's going to be going to China with him when he goes.
This is what I think. I think she acts like she hates him. It's a power thing for
power
her.
thing,
But at the same time, she wants him. You ain't got to lie.
I have girls that do that all the time with me too. Yeah,
She
it's a power
secretly
thing.
wants him.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
No, I lied about that.
Yeah, I think that they're going to get close. I feel like I read something about some chemistry between them, and I really hope that's not true because I just don't want it to go into that direction. But something I want to talk about is Speedy. Okay, we see Roy Harper. He's starting to slowly get himself involved in the Arrow, but he's not quite there yet. But then we have also the dilemma of the fact that Thea's nickname is Speedy.
Right.
So last season we were talking about, is there two Speedies? Are they going to become partners? Is only one person going to do it? When is everybody else going to find out? What do you think is going to happen with the whole Speedy situation?
Honestly, I think there's one Speedy. I think it's going to be Thea. But I think that
Really?
The show does oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so do you think maybe she'll be Speedy, but at the same time, Speedy becomes Red Arrow, so does Roy become Red Arrow, and then she becomes Speedy, and that's a spin-off of a totally different character?
I think they just call her Speedy, and that's going to be her nickname. I think that Roy will become Red Arrow, though.
Okay.
That's what I think. Something else. Honestly, it's really tough to say, but I think he will become Red Arrow. I think that Thea's role... Arrow shows a lot of foreshadowing, is what I think. So I believe that Thea will end up being a lot like I think she'll be a lot like Laurel, and I think that he's going to be the Red Arrow and takes on a position much like Oliver, and I think that you're going to see that continuation of that relationship that Laurel and Oliver have between the two of them. You know what I mean? And I believe that as things progress forward, he's going to distance himself from her. And honestly, from watching that little small mini clip, I don't see Roy staying with Thea. I see him with Felicity. Sorry.
What?
Yeah,
No,
I didn't mean to go that far. Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Did you not hear Felicity when she said she loved Oliver?
Did you not see Felicity when she was batting her eyes at Roy Harper?
No, she just gets nervous around men. That's all.
Yeah.
She's a little awkward, but it's okay.
I hate to say it, but there's another set of good abs on that show too, my lady.
Whatever. Anyway,
Mine are coming in third
you know what?
soon.
The fans have spoken. Dang it, and the writers will listen. So another tweet that I got, also from Michael as well, is saying that we're going to find out a little bit more possibly about Diggle's wife, which, yes, I would like to know. I'm assuming she had gotten murdered. I'm not quite sure what happened to her.
Right.
But either way, so that's some of our predictions for today.
Awesome.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, you can tweet at us and we'll continue the conversation. You can tweet me at KissMyPassport.
And you can tweet at me at mmowgli on Twitter and also at facebook.com/mmowgli. I put all my stand-up gigs in LA and elsewhere.
Why don't you just really quick spell Mowgli for people?
Oh, yeah. It's MOWGALI. I don't want to get clapped up by Disney.
Yes, please. All right, so thank you again so much. We will see you next Wednesday for another exciting episode of Arrow. Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Call me, Laurel.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.